Cortisol, your body's primary stress hormone. Without it, you may experience decreased inhibition, giggle fits, and of course, deep talks. Early in the morning, your cortisol levels peak and continue to decrease throughout the day, reaching your lowest point at midnight. This is a low cortisol podcast. Welcome to the Midnight Hour.
Welcome to the Midnight Hour, a low cortisol podcast. My name is Finch.
I'm Gabe.
I'm Elijah.
And we're just going to talk about some interesting topics, get a kind of late night, relaxed vibe to it, go over some stuff. We'll play a little game in the middle, and then we'll get back to another topic at the end. Our first topic for the day, how much should you plan ahead? Like your future. We're talking... I think it can be a pretty broad question here in that if we want, we can go anything from like schooling. We're all students, so I feel like that's a pretty good place to start. Do you try, like, I mean, obviously you're investing in your future by going to school, right? That's
Absolutely,
step one
Yeah.
here. When you're choosing to go to school, I think you should be considering your career paths after. I don't think it's worth investing in school just saying like, oh, well, I'm interested in business or whatever. It's a little easier with university because you can kind of turn a degree in any way you want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But even then, I know way too many people that just have a bunch of credits that they can't even use for their minor.
That's true. I feel like, well, just university is just longer in general. It's like you can like mishmash it whatever you want. Like I can just change my degree once or twice and like I'll still be good. But like
A lot of times to backtrack.
yeah.
But
sorry.
go ahead.
Sorry. I mean, I feel like university and college isn't that different, at least in my experience with like, because mine is very much, I could go from what I am in now to different pathways and like could change it.
Can we just say what you're in?
Oh yeah, I'm in pre-health right now, first year.
So you have the most options.
I have like 30. I could do anything pretty much in healthcare.
Yeah, honestly, pre-health like is step one. All pre-health really does, I swear. I don't even think pre-health actually teaches you stuff you need in the field as much as it weeds out the weaklings. Pre-health is there.
100%.
Pre-health is there to make sure you really want it.
It's pretty much been high school recap, and then it's amazing how many people, even with learning like really nothing new for a semester, like just didn't cut it.
Yeah. It's got pre-health like across the board has one of the highest fail rates. Mm-hmm. Not as high as radio broadcast though, Elijah. Let's go. Me and Elijah are in radio broadcasting, and it had our first semester had over a 50%, I think over a 60% fail rate. We're down to like 22 from 47.
Oh my God,
Yikes.
I did not know it was that much. Oh, this is not good news.
Well, because I went through from the beginning, because I know we started with 47 because he told us it first day.
I thought we went to like mid-30s.
I could be wrong, but I went through a list and counted just the numbers of like, okay, I know you're in, I know you're in, I know you're in, I know you're in.
Yeah.
And I was pretty generous. I included some people that I'm not sure will be back because I know some of them were saying that they weren't sure they were going to continue with the program even if they did pass.
Oh man. I like mid-30s is still bad, but if you're like low 20s, like we have no hope. Like it's over.
I think we're good.
We're good.
You guys are fine, 100%.
But
If
we're
anything, it's kind of good because like if it makes our degree like that much more rare, then maybe that's kind of a good thing.
I'm just like, it's like we're out to war and we're just like watching people die around us. We're like, should I keep going, dude? Like,
dude, the week after midterms, people dropped like flies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Us too.
Our classes went down by like half the size.
Yep.
I fully think that we're gonna have the 2-group system because we have 2 groups for our program. I think it's gonna be abolished and it's just gonna be 1.
Yeah. Like, there's no way they continue. Like, there's just no point. Like,
Yeah.
Because, like, with the individual classes in the smaller rooms, like, the groups are just so small. Like, it's just not worth it at that point.
Although that does have kind of like a more like one-on-one vibe, which can be nice.
For sure, yeah.
But if you get stuck with people you hate, oof.
But then we're, like, in the joint classes, we're just, like, in this huge room, and we're just, like, not a lot of people. Like, we take
Yeah.
up, like, less than half of the room. We're like, we don't need this room. Like...
John was talking about getting one of our teachers, by the way, is named John, and he was talking about getting us a lecture hall to watch a movie, and I'm like, dude, there's gonna be like 10 kids that show up to that. 10 kids in a lecture hall. John's gonna buy like 5 pizzas, and no one's gonna show up.
It's like the one movie in the theaters that's been out for a month. Everyone's seen it, and the one guy's like, yeah, I'm gonna see it for the 5th time. Like, no one's showing up.
Our classmate Mikey went to see Black Adam live in theaters and was the only person in the whole theater.
Dude, pick a spot, bro. Pick a spot.
I mean, I feel like at that point you have a rare opportunity. You could lay down.
You could do whatever you wanted to do.
I would. You know what? Why not?
Get comfy
Hey,
while
where
you
do
have the
you guys sit in the
opportunity.
theaters? Are you guys like those like neck craners at the front?
No, we always sit at like the very, very back.
Oh.
But like
Squinters.
okay, but Tillsonburg Theater, I'm from
Little
Tillsonburg.
squinty boys.
And Tillsonburg Theater is so tiny that it does not matter. Like that's
Oh.
mid for like the London
Is Tillsonburg
theaters.
Theater just what you call your living room?
Nice. That was good.
Back row just means everyone's sitting on the couch instead of on the floor.
Welcome to the midnight hour where we just cook Tillsonburg for an hour.
Oh man, I don't think Tillsonburg needs to get cooked more. That whole
Tillsonburg
place
gets cooked
is-
enough.
There's definitely cooking going on. There's normally meth, but still.
Oh wow,
It's a
you're
different
not
kind
wrong.
of cooking going on.
Oh man, poor Tillsonburg. They get enough heat.
Well, I mean, there's like 4 people there, so it doesn't matter.
The 4 people that live there get enough heat. Lay off a little bit.
It's like super high in like the list of retirement towns.
Super high.
Shush. It's a very popular retirement town for like people from like Toronto and like bigger cities. So it's just all old people. So like I grew up with nothing to do and just surrounded by old people. And I'm like, this is fabulous.
This explains so much.
Hey.
It's more retirement homes than schools. No.
I think that's actually true.
I'm sorry.
Oh no.
That's
sorry,
actually
dude.
true. There's like 1 high school, 2 or 3 middle schools, and like 1 or 2
Imagine
like
you
elementary
get-
schools.
Imagine you get into a car accident just outside of Tillsonburg. You've never been there before. You wake up in the Tillsonburg hospital,
Oh,
just
God.
surrounded by all people that are like 90 and older, and you're like, "Did I die? Am I on the other side? Is this it?"
Have I been asleep for 60 years? Like, what is happening?
I would just think that I died. I would think that this was the afterlife because everyone around me has gotten to the age where they should be dead.
Yeah.
Should be keyword.
Should be. Maybe should be is not the right way to phrase that.
As they should.
Like that's like probably somebody's grandparent. You don't know. Should they
Probably.
be dead?
I feel like there's 2 ways we can go with this, and one of them goes really dark. So I'm gonna go back to the
Let's
how much
backtrack.
should
Move
we
back up a
plan.
little bit. Yeah.
As much as a part of me does want to just like ruin everyone's day with news that I haven't told any of you guys yet.
Oh no.
I'll tell you later. But anyways, planning.
Yeah.
Here's one. If you're a student, you're
Mhm.
going into school, or you're in school, and you're planning your career and stuff, do you think it's feasible to start considering like a house? Like, do you think that like you could start considering like where do I want to live? What kind of thing do I want to have set up? Do I want to start considering how I'm going to save for a down payment because I don't want to live in an apartment for like 10 years post school? Or do we just accept the fact that we live in North America, so we're going to live in apartments till the day we die?
See, for me, I'll consider like an apartment. Like, I don't think I'm in a spot where I can consider a house yet.
I don't think anyone is. Do we want to talk about death again?
Wow.
Planning.
Planning.
For the
Planning.
future.
I mean, I haven't considered much of like buying a house. Obviously, like my partner and I, we've discussed it, but like I'm more concerned as of now where once I figure out where I'm going to be working and then living one way or another in the area. That's like where I'm at.
Do you guys know my engagement story? This ties in, I swear.
I think so.
No, not
Okay,
really.
well, perfect.
No.
It's okay. So, my girlfriend and I met because I became friends with her sister playing League of Legends. And then eventually,
The classic.
I meet the older sister, and I'm like, hey, dang, she's kind of cool. Become really good friends, and eventually we start dating. And after enough dating, I go and I visit. And she's from another country.
Mm-hmm.
And I go to this other country, and while we're there, being a couple, living life. And this one night, we happened to have this like really nice kind of like, I want to call it a vulnerable moment, but it wasn't necessarily like crazy vulnerable, where we're sitting on, in the Airbnb we rented, we're sitting on the counter, eating leftover Alfredo, like chicken Alfredo, which is like her favorite food in the world. And for the first time, we talk about what a future would look like. And it rather than kind of like just joking around, having a good time, we're talking about like, oh, well, I hate the walls in this B&B. What would we want in a house that we had? And we're having this conversation. And again, it's the first time that we had expressed the idea of our relationship having legs. And to me, I'm like, dang, we so committed. This is so great. As I'm on the bus home, 15-hour bus ride, by the way, in a Greyhound. And it was longer because our Greyhound broke down in the middle of the country.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Oh, lovely.
And we're having this conversation about that conversation on the bus over like Snapchat message, I think, because my Greyhound had really bad free Wi-Fi that kept crashing.
Yeah.
And we're discussing this, and she's like, yeah, should I tell my family we're engaged? I'm like, what?
Whoa.
Pardon me?
Whoa.
And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, we're engaged? And she's like,
You're telling me.
yeah, we said we wanted to like live together in the future and stuff. Wasn't that a proposal? Like, no, it wasn't a fucking.
When has that ever been?
In what world is that a proposal?
Yeah.
How at this point I did not realize that we would have miscommunications for the rest of our relationship. I don't know.
Wild.
That's so crazy.
And the worst thing though in all this is that like, I shouldn't say worst thing because it ends up being the best decision I've ever made. But I'm sitting there, and I'm like looking at this bus that I'm on, this absolute piece of trash bus, and I'm like, it's still worth it. And so I just answered like, all right, I'm in. We've been dating.
Weirdest like reverse like proposal I've ever heard. In my
Dating
entire
for
life.
maybe 8 months at the time.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
oh my gosh.
And this was the first time we met in person.
Oh. Well, you know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Good for you.
Can't knock it. Oh my god. That's incredible. It's like
so crazy.
how did you get to that point? You're just like, yeah, you want to go out to Wendy's? I'll buy you bacon. And I'm like, I guess he's
we're
the one.
married.
I guess that's it.
I love I'm connecting it to yours because you're like, me and my partner have talked about it. And I'm like, I love how you and your partner talked about it after like 4 years of like a strong, hard relationship where you're like, we have a future together. Let's plan for this. Mine is like, hey, we had Alfredo. You want to get married?
Finch bought me a small fry. I think he's the one. I'm gonna call my mom real quick.
McDonald's. Woo.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it was a weird one.
Oh,
and I get home and I'm like, hey, mom and dad. So, and they thought I was joking.
Of course.
And
yeah.
then when they're like
As one
realizing
would.
I'm serious, they just like didn't know how to react to it. And they didn't really say much at the time. They were just like really weird about it and didn't talk. And then like now as years have passed and I've been married to my wife for years, my mom has like confided in me. She's like, yeah, we were like, what is going on? Do we support this? Is he getting like catfished?
It's gotta be. Oh my god.
That's crazy.
But yeah, it worked out. I mean, I moved in with her. She visited Canada next, and then I moved in with her in America like 4 months later.
Bro, you planning for the future, just making Alfredo for dinner. Like, that, like you got it,
I still
man.
make a lot of Alfredo. She really likes Alfredo.
Alfredo's good, man.
Yeah, it's a tried and true classic.
She got taste.
There was a hot minute where we were trading off who cooked every night.
Ooh.
And I am not joking when I say that for the first 3 weeks, she cooked chicken Alfredo
Every day.
every single
Bro, there were
day.
fettuccine shortages. It was not good.
Man, I was so sick of crappy canned Alfredo sauce because she wouldn't even like. She's not very good at cooking, so she didn't like make it either. And oh man, the first time, because she's sweet girl, just hadn't needed to cook, you know.
Yeah.
And like, I'm a little picky with food quality. I went to culinary school, you know. Like I'm serious about.
You got
this.
that bougie food.
And so she's like watching how I cook it the one day and then tries to replicate it the next day. And she comes into the room like really upset. And I'm like, what's wrong, honey? Are you okay? And she's like, can you help? And I come out and it's like the whole pan is just black.
How did we get
all
here?
burned. I'm like, what happened? She's like, I just left it for like a minute. And I'm like, no.
That's not it.
No, you didn't.
Nope. There's something off about that.
Something here does not.
You had
add
it
up.
cranked. I'm like, let's watch an episode of my favorite TV show while this is on high. It's gonna be okay.
And like, hey, we've all messed up. I've burnt stuff.
Yeah.
My first cooking story is a lot worse. Does anyone have a really bad first time cooking story or just cooking story in general?
I've blown up boiled eggs before because I put them in a pot and then I forgot that they were there.
I can
and
tell
then
you
they
that if
exploded.
you pre-hard boil an egg, first off, don't microwave it at all. But especially don't microwave it for more than 24 seconds at a standard convection microwave.
Did it
It will,
explode?
yeah.
Wow.
Those are really hard to clean up.
From experience, more than 24.
Specifically
Genuinely, you
24.
can stop at like 16 and it's fine.
Yeah.
Just probably still don't because it's a lot of work. Okay, Elijah, come on. First cooking story. I got one that's gonna top it anyway. I'm just waiting because I've talked a lot.
Think back. I don't have one off the top. I'm gonna be quite real here.
Yeah, you don't really do a lot of cooking, right?
No. I'm like not home all the time, so I just like get home. I'm like, oh, food's like here because I live with my very old parents.
Like, let's just scrounge.
Yeah.
Can a handful of Lucky Charms and a spoonful of peanut butter be a meal?
I'll just like
Why
make a
not?
grilled cheese and be like, yeah, honestly, yeah.
Oh my gosh, grilled cheese.
Grilled cheese, unequivocally, bussin'.
Yeah.
I was so excited when I got to go home and like make grilled cheese. I had grilled cheese for like 3 days, and my mom was like, "Where did all the bread go?" I'm like, "I ate it."
Where do we line up on the dipping grilled cheese in either ketchup or tomato soup?
Oh, I like that. I do that all the time.
I don't do ketchup,
But you do tomato soup.
but I'll do tomato soup.
I do a little mix of ketchup and hot sauce to dip it in.
Shocker.
Shocker.
There's a lot of hot sauce. Okay, my first cooking, I was really nervous, and my dad was like, "Here, take this roast and just drop it in the pan." And I'm a young lad. I'm a young whippersnapper, and I'm real scared. I drop this roast into this pan, and it splashes hot oil at my face.
Okay.
And on the bright side, not a cook at this point, but still a ninja, I block it with my hand. So it doesn't splash hot oil on my face.
Bro, Fruit Ninja's taking notes.
I had, for the longest time, a scar right here from one drop that went
Right under your
between my
eye, wow.
fingers.
Under eye.
Yeah, right under my right eye from where one of the drops of oil went between my fingers. And it
Snuck in
burnt
there.
from here to like here, which is from my like partway up my wrist to about halfway down my forearm, and it burned all the hair off. And so you
Crispy
can,
Finch.
they can see a little round out where there's no hair. It used to be way bigger. It's gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
The really weird thing, eventually, for some reason, the other side just matched.
He's got matching
It
bald
just
spots on
started
his
to
wrists.
like, yeah, it just started to like.
I had to burn the other side to match it.
I didn't do anything. It just fell out.
Yeah.
I watched it happen too because it wasn't like it like happened gradually. Like just one day, I like woke up and it was just like falling out. I was like, "What is going on?"
Your left arm was like solidarity.
We're twins at the beginning. We're twins at the end.
Oh my god. I think the only like weird cooking story I have is just like me trying to like flip French toast with my bare hands.
I do that all the time. I
I-
do that all the time.
When I was like a 10-year-old, like my hands like are not conditioned for heat at all. So I'm like, yeah, oh no, just like instant regret.
I burn my fingers at least twice a week, but it to a bearable amount because I know the amount of hot oil my hands can handle.
Yeah.
Today I made pasta alle olio, which is this awesome Italian dish. It starts with you roasting thinly sliced garlic, and I didn't put quite enough oil in the pan to like go over top of them, which is you're supposed to do because I just wasn't cooking that much. So I was flipping the little garlics with my fingers.
Oh my god.
That's not a
And
good
in between,
plan.
like licking my fingers so they'd have like a water barrier.
Oh.
Bro, science, bro.
No, that's not good.
I scorched my fingertips off one time.
Oh.
I got
I
no.
I was inebriated
Shocker.
and was braising chicken thighs in Italian arrabbiata, which is like a red pepper sauce, like a red chili sauce.
Okay.
It's really delicious. I love it. It's like most underrated pasta sauce in the world.
Right.
It's not spicy. It's just got a little bit
It's
to
a
it.
little
A lot more
heat to it.
depth because it's got tomato too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, I mean, it's dependent. But anyways, and I'm inebriated, and I used the oven mitt to take my my stainless steel skillet out of the oven, and I put it on the stovetop, and I'm like serving the food, and then I'm inebriated, so I just grab the handful, full grab, and pick it up, and I realize in my inebriated state, ow, this hurts so much. If I drop it, the food's wasted. So I just like set it down gingerly, dunked my hand under
The
cold
show
water.
must go on. That is incredible.
Yeah, and then the next day I realized I didn't have fingerprints on that hand. On, like,
No
4 of
unlocking
my
your phone for
fingers.
you.
Oh my god.
I don't think I've ever burned my
It's-
fingerprints
I wonder
off
if
to
it's
that
still
point.
visible at all. No, they're pretty even now. I'm looking at my fingers and they look like fingers.
I'm burning off the
I'm
skin off my
glad.
fingertips because of serving. I'm just like touching hot plates. Like the plates just sit in like the heat lamp for a while.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I gotta take this food out, and it's just scorching. I'm like, well, what do you do?
I in college, the first time I went to college, I had a roommate that I cooked for them pretty often because they were just terrible at taking care of themselves. and he wants to like treat me back as a thank you, which is really sweet. He should have just paid the grocery bill that he said he would to thank me for cooking for him once a week, but whatever. Or been on time with his rent. But he's trying to like do this whole fancy meal, which literally, I'm not even joking, is just spicy sausage, Frank's Red Hot, and then on pasta. I ate it, but it was not good. But he wants to like do the whole experience. So he like takes our tea towels and tries to fold them like napkins and stuff at a nice restaurant. He like lights a little candle for me, which is like, this is really cute, but it was all done terribly. And it ends with him trying to heat the plate.
Oh no!
So he puts our like plaster plate or like our ceramic plate or whatever in an oven, and doesn't. Oh, that's my. I thought I muted this. I'll have to cut that. Okay, so we'll go to icebreaker in a sec. I'll cut this.
Okay.
So he puts like our ceramic plate or whatever in an oven. I think he put the broiler on because he just wanted to warm it up quickly because the oven wasn't on at the time. And forgets about it for a minute. And I'm just sitting there like, this is so nice. Thanks, Will. This is really sweet. And then crack as this thing just shatters in our oven. And then as it cracks, it falls down the grates. And I hear like crash, 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 crash.
No.
And I just look through this kind of like window we had into our kitchen at Will. And he looks at me. He's like, I'm going to need some help in here.
Oh.
Wait for the oven. Like, turn the oven off, and you gotta wait for that to cool down a little bit. I feel like you gotta wait for that.
I'm like, don't stick your hand in there while it's hot enough to shatter the plate.
Oh gosh. Okay, so now an icebreaker to split our topics.
Hey,
I don't think we talked at all about planning, but life goes on.
That's fine.
So icebreaker. I just made this up a few minutes ago, so we're gonna see how well it works. Everyone I'm sure has heard of like the idea of like one word stories where every person says a word and then it goes to the next person in a triangle. We continue to create the story together, but we're going to play it a little differently this time in that we're each going to flip a coin on our own phones, or rather I'm going to hand my phone to everyone with a coin flipper. And if it's heads, they're going to be the saboteur. If it's tails, you're just going to be a normal storyteller, which means all three of us could be the saboteur. After the story is kind of like run its course or we've laughed enough, we're going to take turns guessing what the like pattern was, who was what.
Okay.
So your goal is to try and weasel out who is the saboteur, and the saboteur's job is to try to ruin the story without it being terribly obvious, unless it's really funny. If it's a really good
What if I just want to do that regardless of what I get?
Just be
I'm
funny.
okay with that.
Okay.
All right. And I will roll a topic for our story. But first, let me do my coin flip. And remember, flip your coin and then flip another time after so the next person doesn't know what you got.
What's heads and what's
heads
tails?
Heads is saboteur.
Okay.
Tails is normal.
Think of it like heads because you're aiming at the head. You're a hitman.
Okay.
All right. I flipped again. So you can...
All right.
Nice.
And I'm going to just arbitrarily decide that our topic is bunnies. Who wants to start?
Should we also explain that we'll tell like what our things were at the end?
Yeah.
Like what we got?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Boom. And there it is.
Okay. I'll start the story then.
Okay.
There
Was
Once
a
bunny
called
pickles
and
he
really
hates
farming.
which
is
Unfortunate.
considering
that
He
owns
monkeys.
I wonder who the saboteur is.
One
Fateful
Evening.
the
dusk
Settles. The dusk settles.
the dust settles.
Not the dust, but the dusk.
This is not as soon as I
Wait, I
had in
said
mind,
dust.
but sure.
You said dust? I thought you said dusk. I was
I
like,
meant
what?
to say dust.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you said
It
the
still-
dust
it
settles,
still-
it's
it still
great.
worked out.
The dust
Hey,
settles.
makes sense. And
Everyone
Fell.
down.
dead.
Okay.
The
Next.
Trial.
was
Completed.
Pickles.
murdered.
Everyone.
And
The
Monkeys.
Helped.
Murder.
Everyone.
10
1,000.
People?
died.
Oh.
Period.
Oh. End of sentence. Okay.
New sentence.
Meanwhile.
Pickles.
Traveled.
Eastward.
In
Guilt.
And
monkeys.
Followed.
him.
To
Pursue.
Another.
revenge.
Ooh.
Watch.
Watch? Out?
Okay, that's good. That's
An outsider perspective. Watch out, bro.
Watch out. Those monkeys be wild. Man.
Bro, Pickles is a menace.
Pickles is a menace. All right. Okay. Do we reveal or do we want to do guesses first? Let's do all three. Do guesses. Don't say was, and then we'll reveal.
Okay.
So, I think, and we'll just guess the other people are so they don't know what you were.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna guess that Elijah was saboteur. I thought you were at first. I don't think you were by the end.
I think you definitely were. I don't think you were.
What do
I
you
think you might be. You're not? Damn. Because I am.
Yeah.
I was not.
I also was not.
Oh, I got perfect. And you-
Wow.
We got perfect. I just realized when I said
You went
you
off the
guys.
beaten path a little bit. I'm like, maybe?
I just want us to make it interesting.
It was the monkeys that really threw you under the
Dude,
bus.
the
there.
monkeys were wild. But it didn't.
I
ruin it.
forgot he was a rabbit about halfway through, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, this is
The
a rabbit with a
commanding
monkey
the
army."
I kept trying to have us go back to like their sentence for the crime, and you guys kept like knocking over. I'm like, okay, I guess we're going to Japan.
Traveling
Eastward.
Going east.
Traveling eastward, the monkeys want revenge.
Those monkeys.
Watch out.
All right. So topic 2, just blank slate here. Vacations. You got any crazy experiences? You got anything you want to say about them? Do you believe that Elijah should have muted his phone prior to this?
Elijah.
Hey, man.
And because of that, you have to go first.
Ooh. Can I talk about how my brother nearly died of food poisoning?
Yeah,
Sure.
that sounds pretty
Yeah.
good.
Okay. We were
Pickles
in
strikes again.
we were in Nicaragua. I was like 5. My brother's 10 years older than me, so he's like 14, 15 at the time. And he ate some bad watermelon.
Watermelon of all
Not
things.
the watermelon.
It was like, it had to have been like, he was like cutting chicken or something. And was like, watermelon time. Let's slice it up. Let's hack it up. Yeah, like I think everyone got sick on that vacation. Like I had like the flu, which was like really strange. Like what is happening? My brother's eating some bad watermelon. Like supposed to be like a fun family vacation. We're like getting away for like in like the winter season, someplace warm. We're like, this is a battle. This is like an all-out war. And then we went home and everyone survived and we made it. Hey, how you doing?
Like, did he have to go to the hospital?
Yeah,
In Nicaragua or in Canada?
we needed. I think it was like bad in Nicaragua. Like we needed to like get home. Or like they had medicine there, but it was like enough just to like kind of maintain
My gosh.
his condition. Like we needed to go home now. Like
Yikes.
his life is in jeopardy.
That is
Yeah,
crazy.
It was nuts.
They must have like pumped his stomach too. That is wild.
That's some horrible
I
watermelon.
was 5
man.
years old, so I'm like, I'm watching Treehouse. I got the flu. Who cares? Like I don't know. Like I don't care. Like,
You're like, oh, why is he so whiny? I've got the flu. I'm really sorry.
why is he so stupid? I have the flu. I'm being so brave about my little tummy ache right now.
Where is everyone to congratulate me for being so brave about my little tummy ache? At the hospital?
Bring me my flowers. Come on.
He got flowers and I didn't?
Oh, stupid.
No, God, now they're bringing flowers to his grave. God, come on.
What?
Any other
Gosh.
weird vacation things?
So I went to Cuba with my family. Not a good time. Also got sick.
Okay.
And I was responsible too. I like only drank the bottled water and everything.
Yeah.
I think it was the food that was cooked in their tap water that got me. We went to a pretty like decently rated one. And there was some weird experiences as a whole, like just so many wild cats. And you just find one dead every once in a while, and you'd have to go up to like one of the cleaners and be like, gato muerte. Que tomaste? In my limited kind of Spanish.
Tap her on the shoulder.
Yeah. I'm kind of Portuguese. Like, I grew up. Like, I am Portuguese, but I don't speak the language. I know, like, the 6 words. I'm like, hopefully these are the same. The first time I go up, though, to, like, the bar, and I'm like, dos cervejas. And they just look at me like, what did you just say to me? And I guess it's only cervejas in Portugal. In the rest of the Hispanic world, it's, like, cerveza.
I mean, that's not that
So
different,
imagine if some white dude comes up to you, it looks like he's trying to speak your language, and goes like, hey, can I get 2 beers?
2 beers.
And you'd be like, what?
Can get 2 itty
What is this kid
beers.
talking about?
Bios.
So,
So yeah, I just started ordering everything in English after that. I gave up.
That's probably for the best.
I drank a lot of beer because the water made me feel gross even if I drank the bottle stuff. So I just had so much beer. A lot of tequila too. But anyways, so craziest thing happens though. Our last night, a tropical storm hits. And it's not like dangerous. Everyone's okay.
yeah.
But like it's some serious winds and a lot of rain. No one's leaving like our little like hotel rooms. We're chilling. We're vibing. But this place is creaking. It kind of sounds like we're in a horror movie in a log cabin. And then all of a sudden I just hear like clunk, and water starts streaming into our room as the roof above our closet broke.
Oh.
No.
Oh, jeez.
And like this isn't like a little bit of water. The water was pooling on the ceiling until it broke the tiles. So we just have like a torrent of water entering our room. We've got like Niagara Falls just
That's
happening.
Unreal.
In the closet.
Yeah, in the closet. And our suitcases are all there packed to go home tomorrow.
Ooh.
This exhibit is so immersive.
I had to like sit and like blow dry, because like they gave us like a complimentary blow dryer to like blow dry off all my clothes that were now covered in Cuban rainwater, which sounds like a drug but isn't.
That sounds dope.
Sounds like a cocktail.
And then we go the next day to like tell them about it, and they're like, meh. And my brother's like, no. I saw that woman back there complain to you guys at this desk and get 2 bottles of free rum because her kid didn't want to swim in the pool because it was kind of green. And it was, to be fair.
We got flooded. Give me my rum.
Like literally, I went swimming last night, guys, in my hotel room. Like, come on, give me something. We got a bottle of rum.
Hey.
There you go.
And it wasn't a big deal because honestly, they gave us like this big bucket, and I bailed it out the first couple times, and I was like, it's not my floor. Let's just move everything off the floor. If they're not gonna like deal with this, if they're not gonna try to like patch it or anything, like it's not like I'm gonna spend the last night of my vacation bailing water all night.
Yeah. I just need to do enough to like get myself out of the situation.
Yeah. It was wild though. A lot of parts of that place were wild. I couldn't go to the beach because eventually they would find me, and by they I mean the fish that would try to eat my leg hair. And it tickled so much that I couldn't stay in the water. And within 20 minutes of any time I entered the ocean, they would find me.
The fish telling you to shave.
There'd be like 20 fish just swarming my legs.
I hate that for you.
Yeah.
God.
Oh, man. We did a kayak tour, too. And my mom and my sister come with me. And I'm a pretty fit young lad. Especially at the time. I was really fit. And they're not. So they didn't realize how much like abdominal strength kayaking takes.
Yeah. It's a
So,
lot.
like, 3 minutes in, they're just sitting still in the water.
You gotta pack it up, dude. You gotta go home.
Yeah. And what we ended up doing is we got like a rope, and I kayaked in front of them with the rope around my chest and just pulled them.
Oh my gosh.
What a great workout for you, though.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. I love kayaking.
Yeah.
Kayak fishing is really fun too. You got to be careful not to tip yourself, but it's really fun.
Yeah.
Gotta hate it when you're just out there kayaking and you lean just too far over and you're done.
Have you ever gone fishing?
No, I don't like fishing.
How do you know you don't like it if you've never gone?
Because we used to stand, my aunt used to own this cottage and had this dock, and then it was like water, and we used to fish off of that.
So you have been fishing?
Technically, but like not on a boat.
That's still fishing.
Okay, well, it's not classic fishing.
That's not even true. The first
You would
fishing,
All right.
the most OG fishing you could get would be people trying to catch fish off of land as food, like OG times, right?
I
the
guess.
most classic fishing is from land.
Well, when I think of fishing, I think of like going out in a boat with your dad for like all day.
No, that
You
is.
attempted to get like sea life.
Can we just talk about how many people do you think own a boat?
A lot of people.
No.
I feel like
No.
I feel
Like
like lots
straight
of
up like
people own
motorboats.
Yeah.
Most people do not own a boat.
You need a license for
Man.
that usually. Like that's like effort. Like
In case
Okay.
anyone is wondering, you're right. Gabe's white.
Hey, whoa. Okay, you're not wrong, but like, I mean,
Dad-
I don't own a boat. My
Daddy
aunt
didn't
does.
buy you a boat.
My parents have no money. I have no money.
The wrong kind of white.
It is what it is. My aunt has a boat. My dad hates boats.
All of the assumed privilege, none of the cash. Tisk tisk.
I'm calling up your aunt right now. We're going fishing right now.
I like fishing. Have you been fishing?
I have. Well, one time I've been fishing. I killed 2 fish, so I never fished since.
Does it upset you to kill them?
Like a bird swooped in after it, and like the fish had floated up to the surface, and a bird just like, caw-caw, like swooped in and grabbed it. I'm like, the circle of life. I fed something today, and that's what it is. That's what
Good
it's
for
all
you.
about.
It's such a weird
The
experience.
spirit of giving.
The spirit of giving.
Yeah, because like the hook got caught in its throat, and it was just like blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It was just blopping on the surface,
happens.
Hate
and
it
then
when
just
that
a
happens.
giant like pelican swooped in. I was like, oh my god, like that's life. It just looked so like intense. I was like 14. I was like, did I do murder today? Like, I felt so bad.
See, the first time I caught fish, we caught them with the intention of eating them and like gutted and cleaned them afterwards. So that was like, we knew that they would die.
Yeah.
Because you don't need a fishing license pre 12 years old. You can just do it.
I don't know.
If I'm wrong about that, then I never have been
Did I illegally fish?
After 12, you do need a fishing license. It's like $50 for a year.
Why
Definitely,
12?
I definitely illegal.
Why do you think it's the age of 12?
I think the idea is that's when you're probably going to stop going with like supervision.
You fish on your own at 12?
I mean, I did.
Okay.
We lived in a small town. We could just bike out to like a creek.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
We didn't do like a lot of fishing, just occasional. There was also in London, actually, this is weird. This tiny little creek, it's too polluted now for anything to live. Near my parents' place, when it wasn't polluted, people just kept putting goldfish in it. And they like, I'm not
What
joking.
does that mean?
They literally thrived.
Oh my god.
They were like breeding, and like there was a lot of fish, and it wasn't just one summer. It was like years. I don't know if they survived over the winter, but there was years of goldfish that we would catch and release just for fun. But you had to be careful because the water was also like 50% leeches. But they weren't leech. They were so small that they couldn't pierce your skin properly.
Okay.
So you kind of just flicked them off, but it's still gross.
Yeah.
I've,
Just like ew, gross.
I've never encountered a leech.
They're gross.
Yeah, I know. They're like
They freak me out.
blood-sucking water slugs.
I think
Yeah.
I would say that
Yeah,
leeches,
honestly, yeah.
leeches might be like they're in like a top 5 creepiest type of creature on Earth for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. I don't like them.
Yeah.
But also, I have a fear of butterflies, so I can't say nothing.
That's a weird one. Why? Did you see one up close once?
Do you
and were
hate
like,
joy?
No. Did you see that SpongeBob episode where you see the close up just too young?
I wasn't allowed to watch SpongeBob as a child.
Oh wow.
So I don't know what it was, but there was the one time I was like 8, 10, maybe. I don't know. Around there. I was little. And we went to this butterfly conservatory. And I
I've
was
been to
so
one too.
freaked out. I was like,
Probably went to the same one.
probably. I was like,
Were you afraid of butterflies before you went?
no.
Oh, that was it. That was like that.
That's
was
like
it
my
for you.
earliest memory of like being freaked out by butterflies, because
Wow.
I like them from like a distance, and like I'll take pictures
yeah,
of them.
I
I
feel
can
like-
appreciate them, but like don't touch me.
I was
It's like a thing you've never seen before. Like, let's go into their den where there's all of them of every type of every color.
Right?
I was on a beach once during monarch migration,
Ooh.
and it was
Wow.
crazy. It was like
Just like huge clusters of them.
like clouds.
Yeah.
It was wild. It was beautiful. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a similar one to you though. I loved spiders as a kid. Thought they were really cool. Used to like catch them in I had a little like bug cage thing, and I'd like give it flies, and be like, here you go, Spidey, enjoy. Keep a couple pets. And then I stopped doing that as I got a little older, and I'm still really young at this point, so I still had a nightlight, and I woke up in the middle of the night with a spider on my hand.
Oh, and that's
Absolutely.
Just
not.
vibing. It was a big daddy long legs, and since then they creep me out. Don't want to touch them.
That's like a different like fear. Like you're like just waking up. You're like, this is on me now. I have to deal with this
Yeah.
now. Like barely awake. Like that's a different fear.
For a
Yeah.
couple of years, I was like, I will not touch these. I will
Yeah.
not go anywhere near them. Now I'm like, okay, like life goes on, but I don't like them.
I had a spider in my shower the other day. Like a couple weeks ago, I got into my shower at Res, and there was directly at eye level between the plastic shower curtain and like the cloth shower curtain on the outside was just this little freaking spider. And I was like, nope, we are not showering today. No, screw you.
Yes,
The spider's got to shower first.
Actually, they did call dibs, Gabe.
The shower?
Yeah.
Or the shower
shower-
spider?
The shower showered
Shower called dibs.
Called
It was
dibs.
very concerning. You might want to see a priest about an exorcism because when your shower has dibs,
If my shower's speaking to me, I feel like that's a me issue more
When the
than
shower
the shower
When the
is.
shower ghost invites spiders, you gotta call it quits. You gotta call somebody.
I think the shower ghost is enough of a problem.
you
on its
kill the
own.
spider and you see like written in the steam of the shower on the wall, like, you killed Carl.
No, Carl.
That was my friend.
You're not allowed here again.
Like Charlotte's Web style, like messages
yeah.
in the shower.
Oh my god.
I forgot about Charlotte's Web. That is such a weird premise.
It is a very
Yeah.
odd. Was it movie?
It's kind of
show?
dark. It was a book
movie?
originally, and then
Was
it was
it?
a
Yeah.
movie.
Movie. I don't think I read the book. I know I've seen the movie.
Okay, can someone correct me if I'm wrong? The premise of this is that he's gonna get eaten,
Yeah.
and the way he doesn't is that he convinces the spider to write things in the web so that they think he's like a special supernatural pig.
Correct.
That's dark.
That's
That sounds like a Russian bedtime story. It's like, hello, welcome to cold, frozen landscape. Story today, squirrel eat nut, nut have poison, squirrel die. Good night, Johnny. No borscht for you.
That kid's not going to sleep. Like, well, if you're a kid and you're like watching Charlotte's Web, like you're not watching it for the deeper meaning. You're like pigs and
Spiders.
writing
But the
messages.
And they made
animated movie
friends.
had like this terrifying scene where he's like running away from people trying to cook him. He dreams this.
I don't remember any of
I
this.
also don't remember that.
It freaks me out.
Wow.
Same with though, like there's a lot of things that if you look back, you're like, why was this in a kid's thing? Exhibit A, Winnie the Pooh, the Hiffalumps and Woozles song messed me up. This might be a little pre your guys' era.
Like I feel like I'm not old enough for that
I'll
specific
show you guys this when
moment.
it's done. Anyone who wants to see something that you're just like, this shouldn't have been shown to kids, watch Hiffalumps and Woozles. Just go on YouTube, Google, not Google, YouTube, Hiffalumps and Woozles, Winnie the Pooh, and you're probably going to be like, this isn't scary, this guy needs to suck it up. But also imagine this from the perspective of a 3 or 4-year-old watching this before going to bed. It freaked me out, man. And I had dreams about them, like, murdering me in my house for years.
Oh my god.
Winnie the Pooh, though, already has like a deeper meaning with like a lot of the characters representing different like mental health issues and whatever. And like that's already kind of dark for a kids TV
Yeah.
show.
I saw this one thing the other day. This is a little wild. This is a weird connection, but I'm like scrolling on probably Twitter. I don't know. I waste a lot of time on Twitter, and this person posted like, "Be whatever," and it was all like the opposite of. It was the picture of the character from Winnie the Pooh, and then the kind of like the opposite supposedly of their struggle. Because the first one is Piglet's like, "Be courageous" or "Be brave," and I'm like, okay. And then the next one, it's like whatever, and then they get slowly more just like, wait, what? And you get to Eeyore's, and I'm expecting it to be like, be happy or like be grateful or, you know? And it's like, be alive. I'm like, whoa! Did they just call this guy dead inside? Same, but.
Hey, man, have you tried like being alive? Have you tried breathing? Like, breathing's really fun.
I'm
Like,
not sure if it was like a bit. Like, I'm not sure if someone
No,
made this as
there's
a
no
joke.
way. There's no shot.
There's no way it's not a bit.
It kind of reminded me of like when you see those shirts in Asia that have like English characters that don't actually mean what they think it means. Like you see a shirt that says like water fountain or whatever, and it just says it with just the words, and they're like, those English characters look cool, so we put it on the shirt as a design, but it like means random crap, right?
Okay, but
Yeah.
white people do that with like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
those characters as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like
Sure.
you just get random like people that have random tattoos. Like what does it mean? Dishwasher.
Didn't Justin Bieber have one that turned out to mean something very different than he thought?
I think
I
so.
know.
I feel like
Kinda
that
hope
is
so.
correct.
My buddy has the word demon in Japanese tattooed on his arm. Like, bro, you gotta stop watching anime. Like, you
That's
gotta
that's
you gotta
far.
you gotta quit it.
Does it actually say that though, or does it say something completely different and he just thinks it says
I'm gonna
demon?
take his word for it because I really don't want him to be wrong. I really want to believe that that's what it says.
I
Put
need
in
you
the
to be
Google Translate.
entirely honest with me. That guy, scale of 1 to 10. Where's the Riz?
Ooh.
Like a 4.
Wow, honestly, that's pretty good for a guy with a demon Japanese.
I think he is with someone right now. He got that tattoo and then like started working at him. Like you had a motive. Like you had a
Okay.
set goal in mind. You weren't like, I'm just gonna get this tattoo. You're like, I'm going to become
He
this
he
like
went
jacked
to a
anime character.
whole
Okay, makes
different
sense.
kind of like annoying.
Yeah.
He went from the guy that gets an anime tattoo who like you don't want to listen to the gym bro with a Japanese character tattoo for demon that you don't want to listen to.
I hope he was like, oh, I'm like a not like jacked person that watches anime. I'm not cool. It's like, well, what jacked people can watch anime too. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna become it. Become what I want. I'm like, okay. Manifesting your own destiny. You know.
I have a really close friend named Steve. Steve's kind of a weirdo though, and he's friends with some weirdos. And my buddy Steve, and he's a big workout guy. And he's got this buddy named Grayson, and they work out together all the time. I also want to include that Grayson's Twitter at, I'm not going to say the exact wording because I don't want to have a, not doxing guy, but something that says like Oni-chan in it.
Oh no. I'll walk out right now.
Yeah. And I didn't know this about Grayson. We like hung out a couple times, and he's like this pretty jacked dude. And then he adds me on Twitter. I realize it's him, and I'm going through, and oh my gosh, the degeneracy of these tweets. You know what? I'm not even sure I can comfortably say it in a podcast. But let's just say
I can like almost picture the energy like you're trying to like go for it right now.
Yeah, I think I understand the vibes.
Yeah.
I was deeply uncomfortable, and I haven't seen him since intentionally.
Good for you, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly.
It was like just so much sexual stuff that just shouldn't be sexualized.
Ew. I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
Because it happens a surprising amount.
Yeah.
I see people like on TikTok that
I can
Oh.
reference one.
go for it.
We can be comfortably like you know what shouldn't be sexualized? Bunnies. That was
Yep.
genuinely on there. Anyway, so tell me about TikTok.
Oh, okay. I don't know if it's just my side of TikTok. TikTok's wild already.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I get being on like Pokemon side of TikTok, you get like these people that will put
Pokemon side of TikTok.
there's a everything side of TikTok.
That's fair.
But I get a lot of people that are like, I'm gonna put this Pokemon name into Google and scroll through the images, see how long it takes for them to be sexualized.
Yeah, I remember those.
And I'm like, I still get those a lot. There's some that are instant.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Lucario Gardevoir kind of thing.
Yeah, like the ones that like are really popular and like almost look like people. I'm like, you're going to find something pretty quick. Yeah.
Almost got banned from playing Pokemon because I asked my dad if we could, like, my dad had a bunch of woodworking tools and he wanted to make something with me. I'm like, can we make a Pokemon I like? And he's like, yeah, sure. I want to use the CNC. Let's do it. It'll be fun. We made a Lucario, but when we're Googling reference images, like 55% of them are porn. On just Google images if you type Lucario. And the first one we see is a big old nutsack. And my dad's like, what are you playing? Like, I don't think that, like, you can't do this. You can't play this game anymore.
Yeah, that game you wanted for Christmas.
Yeah, not happening.
Not giving it to you
Dude, I
anymore.
swear this ain't the game.
no.
This ain't the game.
They make big explosions. They fight each other. It's like, I don't know about that, man.
And see, I have to be careful with that because he also would have banned it if there was too much violence.
It's like cartoon.
I was gonna say it's a card game.
There's like they throw fire at each other. Like nothing's real. Like
Fire, water, wapoosh.
They originally did not let us play because they thought it was too violent, and
Wapoosh.
my aunt like begged them, and
that's crazy.
How can you look at Jigglypuff and be like, "Yep, this game is too violent"?
Yeah, she like sings a song and then like doodles on your face with a Sharpie. I'm like, that's hilarious.
But also, how can you look at Jigglypuff and think this is a sexual object?
Yeah, like a
it's
little
just
pink balloon that sings you songs. I'm like,
draws on your face with Sharpie.
little doodle action. Never hurt nobody.
What I'm getting at here is people need help.
Yes, 100%.
And I feel like that's the perfect sentiment to end off episode 1 on. People need help. Get help.
Get help.
Anyone listening, go to therapy. You need it. I don't care how healthy you are. You need it.
Stop.
Get
Get some help.
Get help. Google Pokemon for the right reasons and the right reasons only. Don't do anything.
I do not condone Googling Lucario's nutsack.
Good night.
And we'll end on that.
Yeah, I think it's time for sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, good night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.